I just noticed that just a simple break dance gets attention from like more than 10 people right here, and a little bit here like 15 people. Just a simple break dance gets attention from at least 15 people. And now in the same time, info table right here, nobody, and the privileged guy. Hi, how you doing?
Still doing my thing. I just got here about a couple of minutes ago.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you your name. Your name is
Fabio, Frank.
Fabio. How you doing, Fabio?
I'm hanging in there, thank you.
Do you get any attention from people?
Not much, but I'm still going to keep. I've been doing this for 25 years. I'm still going to do it.
Okay.
Occupy movements come and go. Privileges is always constant.
So you telling me it's not Occupy, it's privilege?
Well, privilege is really the most important issue.
Yes.
Occupy would be like the Cuban, Chinese, Russian revolutions.
Right.
Unless you deal with privileges, they fail.
Right. Maybe that's why it failed.
That's why they fail. They didn't
Because I
talk about
don't
privileges enough.
see. Look at the breakdance. I just counted at least 15 people, looking at, paying attention to a simple breakdance.
Yes.
Just kids.
Yes.
Nothing. Nobody is telling anybody anything. 15 people minimum.
Yes.
And here, look at the occupied tables. Look at this table. Look at this one. Nobody.
Yeah. But in a way, it doesn't matter because
Yes.
I was reading in Newsday there are 4 deadlines, budget issues coming up after the election.
Yeah.
So people are going to be forced to confront budget cuts that are going to affect their lives. So it doesn't matter. It's like a train in the station. Right now, the train just keeps moving. When the train hits the station, when they have to make budget cuts, then people are going to be crying. It's just a fact of life. People don't act until it affects them.
That's what it is, huh?
Yes. I didn't act until I was drafted. And before that, I was a hippie. I asked to join the communists in the army. The communists said, no, you're not political enough. That's how little political I was.
You're what?
I was not political enough.
What is that actually meant?
It meant
at that time?
It meant I was a hippie. Why did I want to work with them? I couldn't join them. I could work with them.
Oh, they couldn't trust you because what?
I couldn't trust them. They just didn't understand why I had become so political. But I become political because the FBI sent me a notice saying, you haven't reported for the draft, you haven't registered for the draft. If you don't come, we're going to come arrest you. So I had to become political.
So,
the FBI sent me they send everybody the official telegram.
Yeah.
It doesn't report. So
Right.
you know they're not playing the game anymore. That's when
You go
political.
to jail and you suffer.
Yes. So I,
So
I
it hurt your feeling.
Yes. So I had to go into the military, and I said to the communists, I want to work with you doing political work in the military.
I
They
see.
said, okay, you can work with us, but you can't join us yet.
I
You have
see.
to work with us for a while.
Okay.
And that's why in the army I got an honorable discharge.
So same for the people.
Yeah, but the army gave me an honorable discharge because I wasn't part of any movement. I was just the people who were members.
So it was good that they refused you.
Everyone who was a member got jailed and everything.
A lot of suffering, huh? Wow.
A lot more. So since I was a member, they were going into a volunteer army, so they didn't want too many people in the jails. Everyone who was a problem, they just got rid of. Everyone who was a member, an active member of a group, they jailed. So in a way, it benefited me.
But that was mean on their part, but better for you.
Better for me, yes. And it was true. The army knew I wasn't a member. The communists knew I wasn't a member. I was just like Wall Street. Not being a member, but just hanging around, like sitting down. You know what I mean? Like hanging around, not really being a member.
Well, I see a lot more people paying attention to a simple break. I mean, whatever dance is.
I told you when I was being drafted, I was hoping the blacks and Latins would be stupid enough to fight for the military, but they started complaining about the draft. So even now, they're breakdancing stuff. When things get hard, they will complain like they did back in the 60s. I wanted them to be stupid, but they got smart.
Yeah, true.
True. So I don't. Now I don't. So I know that when the time comes, they will step up and be more militant. When the time comes for them.
So actually means doesn't mean a lot. Like in your case, you got active, but actually it was good. It was good for you that they didn't really accept you.
Yes. It wasn't until I got out of the military that they asked me to join them.
After the military.
After the military, yes. Just because I was a hippie. Like you're hanging around smoking marijuana, etc., etc. But I gave up all that stuff when I became political. No drugs since 1969, 1970. Not one marijuana cigarette. Not one.
After that.
When I got drafted, I said I have to grow up.
Wow. So that helped you.
Yes, it did.
But they say actually war really mess people up. War really mess people up, right? It didn't mess you up. The war didn't mess you up.
No, I didn't. They didn't send me to Vietnam because I kept passing out literature against the Vietnam War.
Really?
Yes.
Even though you weren't party member.
No, but I was. They put me on trial for passing out literature, and then they had a big page where everybody who was being tried that day, like 60 people, would come in, and then they would call you for trial. I was taking paper towels, cutting them up, and making political slogans.
Really?
In the cage before I was going into the courtroom. Yes.
Wow.
Because the military was not in the cage. The cage was for the prisoners, so they were just hanging around outside. So me, I was tearing up the paper towels and writing, "Smash the boss's armed forces, join the Progressive Labor Party, join the Communist."
And then so they didn't want to send you down there, but they still considered. They took you in the military, but they didn't want to.
Yeah, maybe but that's why they ended the draft. Too many problems.
I see.
A lot of people were complaining about it.
Because I read that a lot of soldiers shot their officers.
Well, I attended a lecture. Most of it was for criminal activity, But it was true. The guy said it's true. Everyone who was coming into the military was swinging against the war in the lower ranks.
Yeah.
They were being drafted. That's why they now have a mercenary army, a volunteer army. It's a mercenary army. You do what you're told because you're well paid.
Oh, so they pick the mercenaries and pay them a lot better.
Yeah, they pay them a lot better now than I was paid.
I see.
When I was in the military, my apartment was facing eviction because the pay was so low.
Wow.
The pay, because you know it's like when you're in basic training, you don't get paid much. Once you make private or corporal, you make more money. So I was getting to pay the lowest salary, and I really couldn't afford my roommate's salary. You know, so it was so.
Wow, even roommate.
I couldn't afford a roommate's salary in New York, and the rents were cheaper back then. So the wage scales going to them were very, very low.
I see.
Maybe they got better when you became private. I don't know. I never got there.
I see. So what do you think about Occupy again?
I'm hoping it gets better. But I was at the demonstration against stop and frisk.
I'm looking at the tables, Occupy tables here, info, and there the bigger two tables. I don't see anybody paying attention to Occupy tables.
Well, you know, but
it's a great day. It's a nice day.
But to me, you have to, as I say, this guy in Newsday wrote there are 4 dates coming up after the election. After the election, everybody's going to keep everything quiet. After the election is when all hell breaks loose in terms of budgets.
I see.